Welcome everyone, Costin here on Serious Gaming with my playthrough of Ultimate General Gettysburg. This is made by the modder who goes by the name of Darth Vader. He made the Darth mod for Total War, and this game is actually quite enjoyable. Good AI, good mechanics, fairly enjoyable. It's just one battle, but it's one battle the way it should be. Not just one single fucking brawl to the death. Multiple skirmishes leading up to a single brawl, or maybe not. Something that builds up over time. That's how a real battle is, and that's how it is. Instead of the regular difficulty settings, which generally just tend to be, oh, how much bonuses do you want to give the AI? In this game, you've got various personas for that the AI can have. So you can have cunning, dynamic, determined, defensive, balanced, offensive, cautious, opportunistic, and risky. Some more difficult to deal with than others. Determined is the most difficult AI to deal with, so I'm gonna go with that. I'm not gonna boost the AI. Boosting the AI gives it stat bonuses, and that can go fuck itself. That's exactly what I want to avoid. He added it, but gave you the option of not enabling it. So screw it. A lot of options here in terms of difficulty though, so you can play with various types of AI. Generally gave the order to avoid any engagements until the army of Northern Virginia arrives. The latest reports indicate that only some local militia defends the town of Gettysburg. There is an opportunity here, General. Your mission is to capture all the western ridges. You have 2 infantry brigades, 1 artillery battalion, and some skirmishers at your disposal. 2 more brigades will join you, along with another artillery battalion. Serious resistance is not expected, but act with caution and hold Hare Ridge at all costs. If you manage to capture other points but lose Hare Ridge, your efforts will be in vain. Good luck, General. So, both sides start with some initial soldiers, and then they'll get expected reinforcements. I will get 9,000 soldiers, and I start with 4,000 soldiers, as well as gaining 16 guns. The Union starts with 2,000 soldiers, has 6 guns. We'll get 28 guns and 9,000 soldiers. We both get pretty much the same in terms of overall reinforcements, though he gets more guns and more men, slightly more men than I do. But I start with close to double the amount of troops that he has. That doesn't mean I will just be able to steamroll over him, because this game is more realistic than people would believe. So I'd start with some artillery units, a skirmisher unit, and 2 infantry brigades in the form of Archer and Davis. Now there's various things to take into consideration: morale, condition, cover, and reload situation. You can go in melee, though that's generally not a very smart idea unless you're certain that you will be able to break through the enemy. It's very similar to Total War, but more in depth than Total War ever was, or may ever be, really, considering the state of Total War. It's so simple and yet just so well done. Like, on the surface level it's very simple, but realistically it's actually pretty well done. Okay, you can see how many units you've lost in a brigade and how many they've killed as well. Like these guys, they've lost 6, and then soon they'll start racking up the kills. And you've got horse artillery! Oh, awesome. Realistic. They didn't have it initially, but they decided to add it because that makes sense, right? Now, he does only start with skirmishers. I'm gonna send Davis to the north, by the way. It's not necessarily a smart idea, but I need to take the hill. There's several victory points, like control points. Not necessarily control points, they don't really influence, they don't give you bonuses. They're just strategic positions that historically these armies fought over, that they considered important on the field of battle. You can win without capturing them. It doesn't really affect the battle, it just affects the ultimate conclusion of it. Also affects where your troops are deployed. Obviously, you do want to capture them, because by capturing them, you're pushing the enemy line, the entire enemy line, back. You're bending it. That's the reason behind capturing these points. It's not just because you can win. Total War tried adding victory points in field battles. That was the dumbest thing they've ever done, in my opinion, because they did it in just such stupid ways, like without really understanding how to do it properly. This is how you do it properly. And that overall score, well, you can win a decisive victory depending on the points you earn. Also, depending on how many enemies you've killed and the like. You don't just... There's various victories, like in Total War, of course, that change the overall outcome of the war, depending on how well or poorly you do. Here's the thing, though. These battles continue one after other in the battlefield. The positioning of units is changed depending on what's happened previously. Now, I've got artillery. Against skirmishers, artillery will be able to do quite a bit of damage. They don't really stand much of a chance there. I actually will charge with Archer. He's in good condition, his morale is high, so why not? Oh yeah, sorry. Wadsworth, I think it is, right? Division is approaching from the south. It's those black hat fellas from... The whole Union army must be near. It's Iron Brigade. And Cutler. Famous Cutler. Don't you know who Cutler is? Well, I guess you should brush up on your history lessons. Okay, Archer is not gonna be able to stand. That was a fairly stupid idea on my part, I admit. Fall back before you take too many casualties. Now, the reason I sent Davis to the north there is because I knew Davis... Because Davis is in command of a very strong brigade. Like these names, Davis, archers, these were commanding officers. That's not how the brigades were named. That's how it... That's the name of the people that were in charge, so... Alright, the Iron Brigade advances. I need reinforcements. The AI is determined to break me from Hare Ridge, because it knows I don't have the units to stop it. Alright. Now this is called Oak Hill, this is Oak Ridge, and this is the Lutheran Seminary. My objective here is to capture all of them. Hopefully I'll get reinforcements before they rout my artillery. Okay. Come on, give me something. Zimmerman, come on. Those were canister shots fired. I will avenge. Oh fuck, one of my artillery units has been destroyed completely. Well, Iron Brigade is gonna break. That was a nice charge. Pity it will amount to nothing. Now you do have to worry about cover. Obviously that's influenced by the type of terrain you're on. I'm gonna change Davis so that he faces those skirmishers, that he routs them, and then... I mean, their morale is already shaken. That's the thing, you can't just really push your units to the limit. They need rest, they need to stop. You can't continuously push them. I know this from experience. I'm the kind of person who would push my troops to the limits, and there's a price you pay for that kind of action. I'm very impatient, very aggressive. Mind you, it's a viable tactic. I'm not saying it isn't. You can do it. You can win through this kind of strategy. With this kind of strategy, I've certainly won the war. Though this is just one battle, but it was the decisive battle of the war. So. Or one of the most decisive battles of the war. Alright, those skirmishers. How about some fucking reinforcements? By this point, my reinforcements should have arrived. And yet they're not. Where the hell is Pettigrew? That's the name of one of the generals in charge of a reinforcement brigade. I need that brigade. Or else the Iron Brigade and Cutler are gonna eat me for dinner. My artillery is doing a lot of damage against them. They don't have the artillery power to stop me. And the Iron Brigade has taken a pounding as well. Pushing forward, moving my general forward. Generals can't die, but they will retreat if you get them too close to enemy units. They won't fight. Why should they? During the war, though... Oh, finally! The rest of our division forces are here at last. We need them urgently to support the attack before the Yankees bring more reinforcements. You think? Bring in the brigades. I need the Archer. I need the Pettigrew especially. You'll see what I mean by Pettigrew. There's more reinforcements to come beyond that, by the way. This is only a portion of the overall army. Actually, no, that one... No, that's... Yeah, that's reasonable. And I shall tell them to run. That is Pettigrew. McIntosh's artillery battalion has arrived. Yeah, I don't think I would ever be so glad. I never thought I would be so glad to have someone by the name of McIntosh save my ass here. Artillery incoming. More artillery. Artillery dominance goes to the Confederacy. Alright, color is breaking. That means the ridge will soon be mine. And I'm gonna push here to take the farm right here. Pettigrew will need to slow down. Now on the hill here. Okay, stop. Need to rest. Alright, I'm gonna send my general there to support him. Maybe recover some of that lost morale. Their condition is just so freaking terrible. Hold. Looks like the Union Army is closing its attack. Doubleday's division spotted approaching us from the south. More reinforcements for the Union jackasses. Alright, morale has recovered to a certain extent. The Iron Brigade, though, will break. More reinforcements. Bring in those artillery batteries. I think I'm done using Archer. They did a heroic job there. A heroic last stand against both Color and Iron Brigade. They've broken the backs of those Union brigades there. Now, I've captured 2 of the 3 objectives here. I've captured the hill, the ridge. Now all I need to capture is the seminary itself. And however, it's gonna be complicated because they've received these brigades as reinforcements. Riddle and Bucktail Brigade. Those are fresh troops. Granted, I also have fresh troops. More so than they do. I still outnumber them. And I will continue to do so for the foreseeable future. Oh! How about we charge? Go right ahead, Pettigrew. Bring them to their knees. Now they're pretty safe up there, by the way. Alright. General Pender enters the battlefield from Chambersburg Pike. We need his support. More brigades for the glorious Confederate Army. Destroy the Union. Alright. Let's advance here. I will break them. They will be driven away from the seminary. They stand no chance against me. Good luck dislodging Davis from that. Pettigrew comes. He comes for your blood. Oh, Cutler. Such a desperate move right there. Thinking you can charge me. Nope, not gonna happen. Reinforcements. Exactly what I need. Those lines need to be supported. Actually. Fuck your cavalry. Alright. Well, I still have plenty of time available, so I'll send Archer. And Hef. Major Felix. Yeah. And my Hef skirmishers. Alright, Pettigrew is in command of a strong brigade, but keeping him there is not a really smart move because he will break eventually. So I'm just gonna pull him back to the farm where he has more cover. While I wait for my reinforcements to arrive. More artillery, huh? Okay. Didn't realize I had those. Now skirmishers in general, at least some of them, have longer range than regular units. Some of them, not all of them. Or is it the rifles that have that? I guess so. They all should have rifles at this period. Mind you, I'm no Civil War expert. I would never claim to be one. It's a period of history that I really don't care about all much, to be honest. Alright, they finally broke Davis. They finally were able to do that. But they didn't achieve much with it. Scales is on his way. Yep, Robinson's division spotted approaching from the south. More reinforcements for the Union. Probably their last bit of reinforcements, actually. Okay, if Riddle collapses, then I might, and I say might, be able to punch a hole through the Union lines to take that. Seems they're focused on trying to do what exactly? It's not like they're gonna take the ridge back. Yeah, I can sometimes be foolish. Well, they're advancing on the ridge. I see their objective. Here are my reinforcements. Scales enters the fray. And with Riddle collapsing and Chopper soon to collapse as well, my advance continues. Perrin advance. They're throwing all their forces here, which is a pretty foolish idea as far as I'm concerned. It's not that the AI is bad. The AI is actually fairly competent, fairly decent. I'm just an aggressive son of a bitch who has an advantage in terms of manpower. And is not afraid to sacrifice his men to achieve victory. I'm more like Grant than anyone else, really. No, those artillery pieces need to be moved forward. I've lost a number of them, which is a bloody shame. Alright, the seminary is slowly, I mean very slowly, falling under my control. They still have most of their forces concentrated here. Oh, fuck it, go! His condition is terrible. The troops are exhausted, say the least. As long as Scales, Pettigrew, and Davis hold, I can still win this. If they break, however, well, things turn complicated then. We're winning at Seminary Ridge. The battle has been delayed. We're basically in extended time at this stage. If I get the decisive advantage in battle, the delay will go away. Or if he gets one. Perrin has collapsed. Didn't really stop. Hold, Pettigrew. Hold, for the love of God, hold. The entire battle line depends on you. There's just, what, 4 brigades there? There's no way. But they're more exposed than my guys are, which gives me an advantage against them. Lane, come on. Come on, come on, come on. Something's gotta give. I'm keeping Perrin in reserve for a moment. Hills has collapsed. Something had to give. Someone had to break eventually. And it had to be him, right? Between Pettigrew and Davis. I would rather not lose Oak Ridge. But what can I do? My troops are stuck. I can't move Lane or Pettigrew. No! God! Well, Davis is... Shit. 3rd Corps General will move there. Baxter. He's charging. Fucking son of a... You will not reach me. You bloody son of a bitch. Okay, they're breaking. At long last, they finally broke as well. My lines were annihilated. His lines were annihilated. We were both destroying our own lines. This guy fights like me. Well, charge. A few militias defend the town. You don't say! Is there any intelligence in this fucking country? Or am I fighting against the entire fucking army corps? I know my troops are beyond, are at the point of breaking apart, but I can't lose this opportunity to strike. Advance and don't stop until they all break apart. Cut off their line of retreat as well. They're retreating into the town. They won't hold it. Mark my words there. Okay, it's an epic victory. The entire Union army has been obliterated. Granted, I'm exaggerating here. They've lost 4,000 men. I've lost 3,400. Okay. Let's see what awaits us. We've pushed them back. We've pushed them south of the town, and we may be able to commence another assault. At this rate, the Battle of Gettysburg will be won for us. But it may not be possible to assault the Union positions without reinforcements. Our position on the southern Seminary Ridge is very strong, and the Yankees are under heavy pressure right now. A successful attack now could drive them off the field for good. Act fast but cautiously, General. Good luck. Just a point. Confederates capture Seminary Ridge. Just a point. I'm gonna get 14,000 troops, fresh troops, as reinforcements. He gets 2,000, close to 2,000, fresh troops. All he has left are those 15,000 troops that are dead tired, exhausted, demoralized. They're no match for my guys. Mind you, my guys are also pretty hard hit, but anyway. Costin here on Serious Gaming, signing out.